Welcome to TacosToGeeks.com reviews from the couch. Justin and Sean here, and today I'm excited about this one. We are going to be reviewing Invincible Season 2, Part 2. As always, we give you a brief synopsis, so without further ado, here we go. Invincible Season 2, Part 2 follows Mark Grayson as he joins forces with the Guardians to stop the brainwashing Martians. And man, this is the best way I could describe this. And of course, this is completely spoiler free. This is heavy. Just heavy on emotions, heavy in just drama. The stakes are completely raised here. If you weren't too happy with part 1 of season 2, part 2 is going to bring it back to what made you fall in love with the Invincible universe, with the characters, the production, the acting. It's all top notch here. We're going to talk a little bit about it, but I want to get Sean's first initial thoughts. So, Sean, what did you think?
Okay, you said it best. This part 2 is really deep and really heavy. There are going to be scenes in here that are just going to be like a WTF moment throughout the entire second half of this season. It's wild as fuck, and I don't mean it hurts. It's because this is a spoiler free review. It's hard to sit down and not tell you how crazy from episode 1 and 2 the wow. It's like I have to stop and say the madness of what goes on in episodes 1 and 2. It's just wild. It's well done. The story is well told. It'll pull at your heartstrings, but it'll also have you screaming at the screen yo, watch out! Why did this happen? And it's a lot of reveals in this in part 2. It's just this was a really the thing is when we got the screener for it, I thought I would just watch 1 or 2 episodes and just say okay, I'll go with my review off the 1 and 2 episodes and leave myself something to watch later in the season. No, I ended up having to watch all the episodes and sit down and just say this it was back to back. And mind you, when I was watching this was late at night, and I'm sitting there going, oh, I gotta go to bed, but I can't turn this off. This is just too good. And I mean, it's gonna have you week after week, waiting. It's either gonna have you talking about it or just anticipating the next episode. I'm telling you, this part 2 is just perfectly done.
And for me, what made part 2 and the reason why it's heavy, and this is obviously I'm not spoiling anything. What makes this so heavy is that the theme of this, what they did with this, is something you don't really see a lot of when it comes to superhero shows and even sometimes the comic books. Is we legit get to see what it's like to be either friends with a superhero, the person who's in love with the superhero, and you see it from their perspective, the pain that they go through of just being in any form of friendship or relationship with them. And for this one, this is Mark's kind of great power comes great responsibility moment in season 2, part 2, because this is heavy in characterization of Mark, of the Invincible that he is going to become. The theme of this definitely is choices, and he has to make a lot of choices that are going to shape him as a man, choices that's going to shape him as a hero. And the choices that he make are not easy ones to make, and they did it so beautifully in the characterization of that, and just what they did with Amber, what they did with Eve, what they did with Omni-Man, what they did with Mark's mother, and heck, even what's the guy's name with the glasses? I think it's Donald. He even gets a complete characterization. He gets his own little subplot there of discovering who he is. It is phenomenal, and I'm telling you, there are just character moment beats here that's just gonna have you gripping. Or I guarantee you, some of you are not even gonna wait to get to season 3. This actually might be one of the first I can see in a long time of an adaptation that's going to just have people just going to buy the books because they want to see ahead of time what's going on. And if you're someone who's watching this strictly for the action, you're not going to be disappointed because, man, there is blood in this. This is a gory season part 2, and it is brutal. There are deaths in here that's just going to be gut-wrenching. The violence is just brutal, man. Like, Sean, what did you think of that?
So, just like you said, I think aptly naming his choices. One of the things that stood out to me was the choices he had to make with his relationship with Amber. And this is not a spoiler on it. Like, you just have to really watch it. It's episode of him really having to take a deep dive into his own relationship. And not just the relationship with Amber, the relationship with his mother, the relationship with his new baby brother, his relationship with the team that he's supposed to be joining. And it's so, you can tell the stress is really getting to him and it's hitting him.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how he handles it. But you can still sit down and say, like, wow, like he's going through it. Yeah. Like, that's one of the things I was like, he's really going through it in this part 2. And I was impressed. I was impressed by a lot of the side stories with Donald, the side stories with Adam Eve. Yeah. And I will tell you, my new character that's like that I'm running with right now is Rexplode.
Yes.
Like, that man is goated, bro. That man is goated.
Like, you'll see when it happens.
Yeah, you'll see. Yo, listen, like, you know, his character arc has been great to watch. And part 2 does not disappoint with his character arc. I'm completely, like, into how he's growing, how he's developing. I honestly, I don't know how much better this can get. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna find a way to do it. So, you know, Justin, your final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts of the overall season of season 1. I mean, of season 2, part 1 and part 2. If you're looking at it collectively, it's another hit. I will definitely give this 2 thumbs up. Or this, as you know, when we do with streaming services, our ratings are watch it now, put it in the queue, or skip it. This is definitely a watch it now. You definitely have to watch it. Watch it from beginning to end. You have some really great character studies here. You have some really great action, music, and I just gotta give it the acting performances is just top-notch performances here. Everyone's bringing their A game to this, because if it wasn't for these performances, you will not feel the character moments that we get in this story. So definitely put this in your watch now once it drops this Friday. You watch it, and trust me, you're going to be amazed with the character beats on this.
Yep. So, you know, when you get a chance, like I said, Friday, make sure this is definitely on your list of things to watch. My rating of it, top notch, superb. Definitely watch it now. So that's our review of it. I mean, it was just, it did not disappoint. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Part 1, I thought was all right and it was good. Part 2, blew it completely out the water.
And that is our review from the couch of Invincible season 2. Part 2. If you like what we do here, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Helps out the algorithm. If you're watching this on tacosgeeks.com, what are you waiting for? Browse our website. Check out all our coverage. And if you're watching this still on the channel, check out our other stuff on our playlist. Check out our podcast, The Hour. Check out our weekly WWE 2K series, the UWL. And that is it. This is Justin and Sean saying, later days, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.